6 o'clock on the button. We're called to order for our District 1 Town Hall meeting. Welcome. We're so glad to have you here in person, those of you who are in person, and those of you who are online. We welcome you. Some of you are here, we know, to get information. Some are here with questions and concerns. Whatever your why is, please know that tonight we are here for you. This is your night. I'm Jorja Clemson, and it's been my privilege to serve as your District 1 Council Representative for 13 years. I love my job, I love my city, and most of all, I love my people. I love solving problems and planning for the future, and it's my goal to serve you, to continue to serve you with excellence. I believe that that's my mission and my calling. Thank you again for being here and being engaged citizens. I want to know one thing from you tonight, or a couple of things from you tonight. I want to know how you heard about tonight. Did you hear it? Did you see it in the pipeline? Would you raise your hand if you saw? Wow, lots of pipeline readers. Excellent. Did you see anybody hear about it on Facebook or social media? A few. And how about, did you see any of those signs scattered around littering up the property? Well, thank you. However you heard about us, we're thankful that you heard and that you responded and that you're here. We know we have some returning people, town hall visitors, and that's a good sign because that means the last time you were here, you felt like you spent your time wisely and got good information. So thank you for returning again. Now, I would like to take one moment to introduce any elected officials that might be here. We're going to hear from the mayor in a minute, so I'm going to give him his own private introduction. But any other elected officials? If you serve on a board or commission, would you stand up at this time for the city? Thank you, thank you, thank you. These people give their time and expertise to serve on boards and commissions, which may be something you might be interested in someday. If you are, ask for information and we'll get that to you. We also have many of our staff members here who not only have worked today, they stay over to answer questions, to be here and be your support and be our encouragers tonight. We have Bill Hills, our city manager, in the back. We have also, if you are on the staff, would you stand up or wave to us? Most of them are at the back. It's scattered. And you're going to hear from some of these individually. I want to thank especially Claudia and Eric and their team, Ivana, Candace, Cammie, all of them that have helped make tonight, put together everything tonight. And as you see these nice students walking in, they are with Rho Kappa at South Grand Prairie, and Matthew Brown is their sponsor out at South Grand Prairie. And aren't we proud of young people that come volunteer their time to be here and learn about city government? How cool is that? That's so exciting. Now, we have a great city. Some might want to disagree with that. But if you look and compare, we have a great city. And in order to have a great city, you must have great leadership. How blessed we are to have capable, caring, informed, experienced mayor and his beautiful wife, Rebecca, here with us tonight. Mayor,
yes, ma'am.
Would you please come say a few words, greet our guests tonight?
Yes, ma'am, I will. We do have a great city. I had 31 young people in here this morning, my 11th teen council, 31 kids that should be up here someday. And it's one of my favorite things to do. And the questions they asked me, Rebecca was there with me, some of the staff was, it's just really, really neat. They're good kids. And I think you would love what I told them. I said, you all have dreams and aspirations. I, like you, talking to them, did some silly things in high school and all, but just don't do something stupid to prevent you from being what you want to be in 10 years. And I believe that. All it takes is one crazy, out of character incident to keep you from being what you want to be. And those kids, and we need to lift them up every time. I appreciate you kids being here. We want you to be successful. We want you to come back here. I do not have an announcement for HEB. I will tell you, we continually talk to them. Tony talks to them. They haven't said never, but they have said no for right now. They are expanding. They're very judicious about their expansion, very conservative about their expansion. And as you know, they finally opened up one in Dallas County. Now, they've had central markets in Dallas County, but they had not had an HEB in Dallas County. So they have finally started opening up and breaking ground in Dallas County. Now, Rebecca and I have gone to a couple of HEBs. I don't get it. But those of you that keep crying for it, I'm trying. I will not let my wondering why interfere with me trying to get it. So we are active, right, Tony? We have tried real hard. Where's Tony? Way over in the corner on the other side of the lights. We are working on some things north of Main Street. There's not a lot of dirt available, but there is some dirt available. There's not a lot of dirt available with houses around it. Like we have dirt available up 1382, but trucks are around it, not houses. We have a little bit of dirt available along I-30, starting from MacArthur all the way down to Carrier along I-30. We have some locations. Tony is actively showing that to prospects. We may land something. I hope we do. Tony knows which one I'm talking about. I hope I can announce it someday. But it takes time for a big $300 million project, even a $200 or even $100 million project to come together, because they have to come up with some people that are going to risk their own money to build in our city. But you know, I'll close with this. Think about it. Have any of you been to the Colony at Grandscape? That's the only area in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that can compete with what we have. Think about it. We have IKEA in Living Spaces. They have Nebraska Furniture. We have Bass Pro. They have Shields. Everything else is a match. They have Andretti's. We have Andretti's. We have Topgolf. They have Topgolf. They do not have a chicken and pickle. And folks, chicken and pickle is a huge get. You're not a Packers fan, but the Packers held their pre-night rally before they played the Cowboys at our chicken and pickle. It was crazy. Rebecca and I went there. I almost had to wear cheese. Main event, Epic Waters, the Summit, all along that corridor. There's not another city. I love Arlington being next to me. We go to the Cowboy games and baseball games, but they don't have any of those. They do not have any of those that I mentioned. You go along 161, we are now a top 5 destination. A top 5 destination. And I see some of you that have been here longer and as long as I have. I told the kids today, my main goal was to get what we ain't got. I've used that term many a time. I was so happy when a South Grand Prairie High School graduate opened up the first Smoothie King, because you know why? We didn't have one. Folks, we didn't have a lot of things. Now we've got things, and when I go to my monthly RTC meetings, Jorja fills in for me 2 or 3 times a month. There's mayors and county judges from all over the 13 counties. They respect us. They talk to me, and especially the mayor from Louisville was so angry that I got Bass Pro. He said, Mayor, we've been trying to get Bass Pro for years. How'd you do that? And I just didn't tell him how. Quite frankly, I don't know how. Since Bill Scar's here, I'll have to tell you this story. And I'll close with this, Jorja, because I could talk the whole 2 hours. But Rebecca and I have to leave about 6:55. I've got an engagement to go to out at Texas Trust with a big group for Peter Frampton. I have a few extra tickets if anybody walks out with me. So we had built the Epic and Epic Waters Playground Adventures and let the world know we were open for business. Had a meeting with Tom Hart in his office and Bob O'Neill, who's the economic development director like Tony is now, Bob O'Neill. We met with Jennifer Frank. Jennifer Frank comes in, sits down. I can't tell you who I'm with. If you figure it out, you can't tell anybody. But we're looking at a huge furniture store coming here, and they do about this much a year, and we need some money back. We kind of talked generalities and said goodbye, and I had no clue who they were. And 2 hours later, Bob O'Neill calls me and says, Mayor, it was IKEA. Well, getting an IKEA is what gave us the stamp of approval. I remember when we announced IKEA, they went in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram and people said, Grand Prairie? Like, you know why? Now when they say Grand Prairie, it's the other way around, because we're the destination of choice. So the night before I was going to announce, or the day of, it doesn't really matter, it's close. I think it was the day of, I'm announcing it out at Epic Central. Bill Scar walks up to me and says, you're announcing a Bass Pro. I said, just hang on, I'll let you know a little bit. Well, a few years later, when I could announce Bass Pro, I called him the night before. Right, Bill? I said, Bill, you can't tell anybody, but guess what I'm announcing tomorrow? Bass Pro. So without, I love our city. Jorja she had a great role model, didn't she? I was able to serve with her mama for a number of years, and then with both of them for about 4 months. And so Jorja got to sit up here on the dais with her mama for about 3.5 months, 4 months before mama died in the backyard on a Friday afternoon picking figs. So we'll never forget Ruthie and Vernon, but especially Ruthie for the stamp she made on the city of Grand Prairie, and Jorja's doing a great job following in her footsteps, but blazing her own trail different than her mama. So thank y'all.
Thank you, Mayor, for those good words and good memories as well. You know, our city has experienced great success because of great leadership, as I said, great people, great location, and the good Lord's favor on us and our city. And for all of that, we're so very grateful. Now, we're going to get this party started, and Eric has a quick little video, so watch it because we may have questions on that later.
Welcome to Grand Prairie, deep in the heart of everything. Home to 206,000 residents and growing. As 2025 wraps up, here's a look back at the progress we've made together and the promising future ahead. Your safety is by far our top priority. That's why we will continue to fund and support our Grand Prairie police and fire departments. Their life-saving efforts earned our city the distinction as the safest city in DFW in 2025, an outstanding EMS response recognition for the 11th year in a row, and the highest rating by the Insurance Services Office, which reduces your insurance rates. We also want to make sure our roads are safe. So we've allocated over $26 million from the city budget for our Transportation and Mobility Department, which oversees street services and roadway improvements all over our wonderful city. Well-maintained roads make it easier for the city to pick up 2.2 million pounds of waste every single day and haul it off to get processed efficiently. It's a big job, but it's worth it to keep your neighborhoods clean in a way that is sustainable and convenient for you. Another way we work hard for your convenience is by processing 42 million gallons of water through our 885 miles of city water lines every single day, all to make sure your water is safe, clean, and reliable. But we're also committed to making Grand Prairie a better place to enjoy with your family by funding and supporting our award-winning parks, libraries, and free events like Main Street Fest, voted the best music festival in DFW. And it'll keep getting bigger and better thanks to a Main Street development project, which promises to transform downtown into a beautiful, pedestrian-friendly destination with state-of-the-art public spaces for all kinds of free events and activities. Downtown will also feature new housing options in the form of modern condos and townhouses, as well as affordable homes in our new Alice Court development. Grand Prairie is also growing to the south with a new 5,000-acre master-planned community called Goodland. To accommodate this growth, Grand Prairie is expanding its infrastructure and response with our new Fire Station 11. All of this is just the beginning of the big plans in store for your wonderful city, but we want to make sure we grow responsibly. And that's why we're here tonight, so you can hear from us and we can hear from you. Thank you for joining us at tonight's Town Hall.
Thank you, Eric. Wasn't that good? Didn't you like that? Very informative. Now, it doesn't really, it wouldn't make any difference how many new developments and new places to eat and Smoothie Kings we had if we didn't feel safe in our city, would it? If you stop and think about it. So we're going to get to hear from, as it says, Police Department's Daniel Cessny, our chief. Well, tonight we have Assistant Chief Tim Sleva, and we can still call him Chief whenever Daniel Cessny is out of pocket. He gets to come in, and we get to have him, and he's a fabulous young man, and we're so proud of him, and he has all kind of good things to tell you about our department.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm appreciative of the opportunity to come out here today. Obviously, I'm not Chief Cessny. I'm hoping that one day when I grow up, I'll be that tall, but I'm almost giving up on that. Chief Cessny right now, he's with some of our other leadership group in Denver at the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference. So as a leading police department, one thing we get to do as leadership is go share some of our success with other leaders from the law enforcement realm around the world, and also go to a conference like that and learn what we can bring back to do even a better job. We've had a lot of success, but there's always room to grow and continue to get better at what we do. As you can see on the slide here, crime is down again, 24% year-to-date citywide. Thank you. And that is a testament to the men and women of the Grand Prairie Police Department. That's also a testament to our supportive council, our supportive city management, and most of all to our citizens. We can't do anything without the support of our citizens. And the fact there are so many of you here tonight that speaks to the engagement of our citizens with the community definitely helps us to do our job. Ask that you continue to stay as involved as you are. Another thing with that 24% decrease in crime, we are actually at the lowest crime rate that we have had in 15 years. It might be longer than that. 15 years ago is when we started measuring the crime the way that we measure crime today. So we're definitely moving in the right direction. No other city in the state of Texas can make this claim. And this is despite a 20% increase in population in the city during the same time frame. So when you look at how much the city has grown and continues to grow, we don't want to look at this and just pat ourselves on the back and say, good job. We want to continue to innovate. And that is something that we push all of our men and women from the line level officer all the way. Continue to innovate, continue to have ideas, continue to listen to our community. What more can we do to make the city even safer? Enough is never enough. One victim of crime is too many, and we just want to continue to find new ways to do even. A lot of our success is attributed to evidence-based crime strategies. The days of just patrolling around the city and looking for crime, that's not a thing anymore. We have so much technology, so much information. We really want to target where the problems are. Y'all may have heard it before. About 90% of the crime in a city happens in 5 to 10% of the locations. So that means that while some people feel completely safe, there might be somebody in some other area of the city that doesn't feel that same sense of security. So by using evidence-based policing, we're able to get in there and provide a better quality of life, a safer environment for everybody across the city, regardless of where you live, regardless of your background. We don't want anybody in the city, just citywide, that are kind of challenges for us. Speeding and reckless driving. As you know, with the growth, we've continued to add roadways, highways, the extension of 360, the turnpike. That is something that we continue to work on. We work on that with our partners with DPS. We work on that with our traffic unit. We've also expanded programs such as our focused enforcement program. We work through STEP grants, anything that we can do to impact and bring down some of that speeding and reckless driving. We want to do that. And that's something that we're going to continue to work on. Over the last 5 years, we've also really ramped up our vehicle crimes unit. What that unit does is they go after offenders who are racing. So if you come into the city of Grand Prairie and you want to do racing, you most likely will get to visit our fine jail facilities where you will get a honey bun, a nice beverage, and you probably will not have your car anymore. So we don't want any of that. The speeding, reckless driving, it really is a problem. We want our roadways to be safe, just like we want crime to be low. Other growth challenges down south as we continue to grow. Obviously, the population is going to continue to grow. So we're just going to have to build up our ranks, build up our leadership, and everything that we need to be able to continue to work on issues further south in the city. But let me speak for just a minute to District 1, because that's what y'all are here for. Two of the biggest issues that we deal with, that we hear from y'all about in District 1, have to do with trucks and short-term rentals. And let me touch on short-term rentals first. And Chad McGowan with our code enforcement team, he's going to speak a little bit more to this. But let me let y'all know, with the short-term rentals, we understand how that impacts your life, especially if there's one that gets out of hand. So if you call us about a short-term rental, any short-term rental call that comes into the police department, we don't only send an officer out, we send a supervisor on every single one of those calls. We want to make sure that if there's anything that can be done, it will be done. And on the back end, we want to follow up and make sure that we don't have any issues that happen again. So if you're ever impacted by a short-term rental, don't feel like I don't want to call the police because I don't want to bother them. No, pick up the phone, give us a call. That's what we're here for. We're here for you and anything that you need. So that's something we're going to continue to work on. The other big note item that we deal with a lot is truck traffic. And who in here has been impacted by truck traffic? Surprised to see that many hands. No. That is something we have a commercial motor vehicle unit within our traffic unit, and that is what they do, is focus particularly on truck traffic. And they don't only look for trucks on the highways, things of that nature. They actually get into the neighborhoods. They get into these areas where y'all report problems to us. So weekly, we have areas that they spend time in and that they check in, and y'all are great. Ms. Jorja, I know you will reach out to us all the time with truck issues, and we're able to get an officer out there. Y'all are our eyes and ears. So whenever you see a truck, just like the short-term rentals, if you see a problem, don't ever hesitate to pick up the phone and give us a call. We want to do whatever we can for you. With the truck traffic, we don't just stop the trucks, give them tickets. On the back end, those same commercial motor vehicle officers will actually reach out to the trucking companies and work through the trucking companies to more directly impact the drivers, get GPS updates if the GPS is causing issues, things of that nature. I know recently we have some construction that's going on that is kind of diverting some truck traffic in areas around, working with other city departments to improve some signage. But even in that situation, we were able to reach directly out to the company where those trucks were from and pretty quickly get that problem solved. Just get those truck drivers redirected to where they need to go. So that's an issue we're going to continue to work on. And like I said, if you ever have an issue, whether it's one of those two areas or any area, please just don't ever hesitate to reach out to us with the police department. Like I said, we are here to serve you. I know some of y'all might have some other questions for me, and I will be here happy to answer any questions as long as I need to stay tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And I see it's Chad McGowan will be coming on down here. Has one of the hardest jobs in the city, and he's in charge of code compliance. Can you imagine? Yeah, I think you all can imagine. But thank you, Chad, for being here.
Thank you. So I just want to give you all an update on short-term rentals. Across the city, we have 291 short-term rentals now, 41 in your district. Out of those 41, 39 are licensed. We have one that's currently under review for renewal and one that's non-compliant. The one that's non-compliant, we typically follow enforcement action with notice and citations. That one's received 2 citations this month, and they'll continue to receive citations until they're compliant. Like Chief Sleva said, call 911 if there's an issue. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. But after hours, call 911. The typical procedure for that is police will respond. Code compliance gets a report in the morning. We review body cam footage. We look at the evidence. And if we have enough evidence, we issue citations for the violations. We've issued 134 citations this year. The good news is most of those are administrative. I think about 70% of those were issued for failure to obtain a license or failure to pay taxes, which means that the parking violations have gone down, less parking violations, fewer noise violations, and fewer occupancy violations. We've had a few less violations this year as opposed to last year, but the number of short-term rentals have gone up 15%. So we are making a difference. The ordinance, basically the way that the council looked at the ordinance, they wanted to give us as much teeth as they could without us getting sued and losing our ability to enforce it like other cities. It's working. We have short-term rental property managers and owners that are putting sound meters in. They're putting cameras in. They're charging a $500 fee if there's any violations on the property, and they're calling the police for you. So it's making a difference. We've also received 40 cease of operation letters, which means that 40 short-term rentals this year have backed out and decided, you know what, this is too much of a hassle. We're going to do long-term rental or sell the property or whatever. And of those 40, 32 of those were in y'all's district. So the ordinance is working. It's making a difference. That's it. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chad. See, I learned something new. I didn't know those were all in our district. That's great news. Thank you, Chad. Now we get to have our favorite fire chief, Robert Veit. Come on down. Let's hear it for Chief.
And your fire chief chose to be here tonight. Yeah, it was a jab. Well, good evening. Well, some of you are some old neighbors. If you recall, I lived in Nottingham for quite a few years. You've had me as fire chief going on for 13 years now. It's hard to believe. If you remember what I looked like in 2012 to now, you would understand what it's like leading 260 firefighters, trying to keep them happy, healthy, and safe. It's a difficult chore. And life just got a little bit more difficult with Fire Station 11. I realize this is not District 1, which I'm going to really focus on here in a minute. But we just opened up Fire Station 11 at the intersection of 287 and 360. It actually has a Grand Prairie Fire Station 11 has a Midlothian address. So you got to remember post office box rule, the addresses, and all of that down south that we call Goodland and Lakesong, unfortunately, a lot of it have a Midlothian address. So we are roughly 30 miles long, from Station 11 to Station 8 up on Roy Orr, 30 miles. And man, that makes it difficult to manage when you're that long and that skinny. But we had to open up Station 11 due to the growth down south. Believe it or not, probably not in my tenure, but in the next chief's tenure, we will be opening up Fire Station 12. And I would bet to guess I could give you $100 if you could get what city that would have an address in. And I bet none of you would guess Venus, Texas. It will have a Venus address. That's how far down south we go. And it's hard to believe from District 1, 30 miles away, but there's a lot of activity down south, which has taken a lot of police and fire's time. But we do have 11 fire stations. District 1 is probably the most protected. You've got the Fire Station 8 on Roy Orr. You have Fire Station 4 on Duncan Perry that we call the Knights of Nottingham. If you've seen their logo, it literally says the Knights of Nottingham. And you have Fire Station 1 there on Main Street covering Dalworth and the southern part of District 1. Thanks to City Council and thanks to City Manager who's sitting back there, we are implementing what we're calling a 4-person staffing model. It's been a national standard for a long time, especially for big cities, Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, the big cities. Plano, Frisco, Garland, Richardson all have 4-person staffing. We've been running with 3 on the fire engine since the beginning of time, and we are very fortunate we received a federal grant, and we have the backing of our mayor and our city council and our city manager that we are adding 21 more people from the federal grant this March, which will put 4 on a fire engine. Let me explain why that's important. So let's just take the Nottingham Fire Station on Duncan Perry. And your house on Axminster, I just picked a street, is on fire, and Duncan Perry Fire Station, engine 4, gets there with 4 people. Used to with 3 people, the driver has to pump the water. Now we're down to 2, the lieutenant and the firefighter. That lieutenant is the officer who should be looking at the big picture, making decisions. But because we won with 3, and they're down to 2 on that hose line, that lieutenant now becomes a task-driven firefighter having to actually fight fire and not make command decisions. If things are truly out of control, that lieutenant cannot go in to that house with that firefighter by himself. So we have to wait for the next fire engine. Not a situation we like, but it's the reality of our profession. Now we're going to be running with 4. Now the driver's going to pump. Now we're down to 3. 2 firefighters on the nozzle and a lieutenant leading them into that house. Regardless of the conditions, that lieutenant can now see the conditions, make decisions, and we are going in that house come hell or high water with 3 instead of 2. So, I've never really explained that to staff and mayor. I know I've really never explained it. We talked a little bit about it last night, but that's the importance of having 4 on that fire engine. And so come March, once we get them trained, come April, every fire engine in this city will have 4 riding on it. And for you and your family and your loved ones and your pets, that's very important. So I really thank the mayor, city manager. Thank you for what you did. I know it was a heavy investment, but I promise you it'll be worth it. And then finally, I'll be here later for questions. We have a unique city that's long and skinny. We have an airport. We have a lake. We have a horse track. We have the 5th largest industrial district in the world, which I know doesn't please everybody in this room when you mention the W word of warehouses, but it does pay the bills. So it does create some problems for us as well. And those are mainly all in District 1 too. So Ms. Clemson, thank you. There is no bigger supporter than right here of the fire department. And if I ever need a favor, and she knows if she ever needs a favor, she can call me anytime, any place. Thank you. You bet.
Now, don't you all feel safer after hearing from both of our chiefs tonight? that is such a blessing to have that, to know that we are safe in our city and have wonderful leadership. Now we get to move on to the fun and games of Grand Prairie. We always look forward to hearing from Parks and Arts and Recreation, and Kelly Edelman will get us started. And part of the fun and games was just trying to get a parking place tonight, right? Because we're getting ready for something fun going on in Grand Prairie. But Kelly, get us started with Parks, please. Welcome, Kelly.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. As Ms. Jorja said, we are part of the fun department, and I love my job because we really do have a lot of fun stuff in our department. I've got a few of those things to share with y'all tonight. The first one is pickleball. Now, this is Miss Clemson's town hall, so I know there's pickleball players in the room. Am I right? Any pickleball players? I know at least a few. Okay, a few. Not as many as I thought. I'm surprised. Have you played, Miss Jorja? I know you have. Okay, he's your coach. Let me tell you just real quick, I have avoided up to this point playing Miss Jorja in pickleball, and let me tell you why. A couple years ago, I don't know if you remember this, we were at Charlie Taylor Rec Center for some reason, and you said, Kelly, would you like to play me in a game of ping pong? And I said, well, sure, I'll play in some ping pong. I thought, should I go easy on Miss Jorja? You know, I'm thinking, let me tell you, she did not go easy on me. And I think a few points in, I may have faked a phone call or something and walked away. But so if she's any good, if she's as good at pickleball as she is at ping pong, I'm gonna leave that for her. But speaking of Charlie Taylor Rec Center, just today we got to unveil. This is not part of my slides, but we got to unveil. The mayor unveiled a bust of Charlie Taylor and a really nice memorial in the lobby there at Charlie Taylor. If you haven't been by in a while, go by and see the nice renovations that we've done kind of recently, and now a really nice memorial to Charlie Taylor with a bust that was done by an artist out of California, and a display case with some memorabilia from him, and a real nice tribute to him and why we named that facility after Mr. Charlie Taylor. But back to pickleball in Grand Prairie. We have a new pickleball court coming very soon this spring up on the north side of town. This is part of the Trammell Crow warehouse development, which is, if you know where Lower Tarrant is, we're cutting through, the road is cutting through. It's Entertainment Way. And to the east of that, there's going to be a new pickleball facility with 6 pickleball courts, a restroom, and a parking lot. Again, with an anticipated completion in the spring. More to come on that. Lights. Yes, ma'am. So another opportunity for the north side of town to play pickleball. And then out south of town, a couple of months ago, we unveiled the renovations to the Friendship Park, where tennis courts. Now we have 4 dedicated pickleball courts and 1 tennis court, which can be converted to 4 additional pickleball courts. They're also lighted until midnight, and we have benches and other park amenities out there, a restroom facility nearby, and a pavilion. I live close by there. When I drive by at night, it's very well used. So we know that people are really enjoying that new facility. Also, as she already mentioned, when you came in, you saw a big mess out in the parking lot. We are getting ready for Main Street Fest, and it's going to be bigger and better than it's ever been before. If you came last year, you saw that we expanded the footprint. This year, it's expanded even more. We're actually going back out onto Main Street. So that's Friday through Sunday of this weekend. MainStreetFest.com has all of the information, but our headliners Friday night are the Jacksons, which everybody seems to be really excited about. Saturday night is Lone Star, and then Sunday is David Lee Garza. So we're anticipating really nice crowds all 3 days, hoping for great weather. We're going to have a good time. We're also having Street and Treat here on the City Hall campus on Halloween night from 5 to 9. Great family fun event, not too spooky. Lots of candy and crafts, a petting zoo, fun costume contest, food, and just more fun. So if you don't want to trick or treat around your neighborhood, feel free to come on out here and have a good time with us. Not on here is Prairie Lights. We're also well underway with the setup of Prairie Lights, which begins Thanksgiving night, runs through New Year's Eve. This is our 20th year of that event. So we've got some really fun things planned out there, some nice improvements. So even if you've been before, we think you'll enjoy some of the new attractions that we have out there this year. Tickets are already on sale. And the last thing is we are in the process of updating our master plan for the department. This is a 10-year master plan that we go through every year. This plan will take us from 2026 through 2036. We had some input meetings in the spring. We still have more coming up in November. Even if you came in the spring, we'd still like to have you come back and give us some input on and some feedback on where we're at to date. This is our master plan that will guide us in the development of our parks and facilities, again, for the next 10 years, trails, all those good things. So November 11th, 12th, and 13th, we have 3 different opportunities for you to come out and tell us what you'd like to see. More information on that can be found on our website, grandfundgp.com. And that's it for me. I'll be available after the town hall if you have any questions. Thank y'all.
Just another little word about Main Street. Let me ask you, Kelly, is it correct that Main Street will be closed on those nights, Friday through Sunday?
Correct. So Main Street will be closed beginning Friday morning. It'll be opened late Sunday night, early Monday morning.
Did you all catch that? In other words, don't go there unless you're going for the fun and games. But try to avoid that area for traffic reasons. Thank you so much, Kelly. Now we would like to invite Dr. Patricia Redfern to come forward, and she's going to give us information about solid waste and recycling and some updates. Thank you, Patricia.
Hello. Good evening. Thank you. All right. Well, I do have some updates. Hang on just a second. There we go. We are currently negotiating with Republic Services for changeover to cart service for the city of Grand Prairie. Garbage. I was hoping that would be received better. No, it is time. Actually, I feel you. Our current vendor is no longer providing service for bag only. And that is honestly the way that the industry is going. So I'm looking forward to clean and efficient service that doesn't get with the bags not getting scattered all over Grand Prairie. So this is going to solve some problems. It is going to create some change. There's no question. Stay in. Okay. Stay online. So I do have some bins available back here for free. I hope that we are ordering our very last truckload of bins. We are looking at October 1 of 2027. So we do have time to get used to the changes, but the change is coming. I wanted to prepare you. Okay. So I know. This will be in carts. So it'll be a big cart or a medium-sized cart for garbage, and then a big cart or a medium-sized cart for recycling. No, you'll have a cart for garbage and a cart for recycling. That is 2, unless you want more. And then you'll have, but all of your services will be provided in the same day. So if you've got Monday collection, it will be for Monday garbage, Monday recycling, Monday bulky, Monday brush. So that's nice. We don't have Tuesday or Friday or Wednesday, all of that. It will streamline things. Okay. We'll have to digest that for a little bit. All right. One thing that I think we are fully digested finally, we are getting to the point where we're used to the holiday collection. So we do have.
No, they are.
Okay. It's getting better, I swear. You're okay. They're not phoning so much. So I'm glad to hear that, but I do have some magnets in the back too to help us remember we've got Thanksgiving coming up, right? So there will be no pickup on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So Thursday garbage will get picked up on Friday, and Friday garbage will get picked up on Saturday. We're ready. We are so ready for this. Okay. We've got some fun stuff coming up. So now that we're through talking trash, we have community gardens. I wanted to push out some information. We have flyers back here about this. Mrs. Ray is here from the Luckett Garden. We have availability at most of our gardens right now. We have 6 of them around the community. It is a lot of fun to get out there and to play in the dirt and to meet your neighbors and to just get some fresh air and grow some veggies or grow some flowers. But we also have coming up one of my very favorite events through the year is in December. It's the seed swap out at the Betty Warmack Library. So that's just a free event, and you can go and pick up some seeds, drop off some seeds. You don't have to drop off any seeds. There will be all kinds of vendors there that have good free stuff for your gardening enjoyment. And it's just a lot of fun also. So, and that is under our Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful group, who also takes care of Adopt a Street, Adopt a Cemetery, Adopt a Stream. So if you're interested in any of our programs, please don't hesitate to give us a call or to see us online, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Redfern. Now we have our Engineering Utility Service Director, Noreen Housewright, who will give us some CIP projects. And, oh, we get to talk about the water billing. So, we already had fun and games, and now we're having some things that are a little harder to talk about, but just bear with us because we need to talk about them. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Noreen Housewright, the Director of Engineering and Utility Services. So I have here with me Walter Schumack, he's the Managing Director, and we also have Tanya Woody, who's our Superintendent of Utility Customer Service. So the first thing I want to go over is a couple of the capital projects we have going on in District 1, and then also go over an overview of what's going on with our conversion to our new software program. So Walter's going to talk about a couple of projects that you guys are probably familiar with. They've been kind of talked around for the last couple of years, but he's going to give you an update on 2 of the projects that are in design. You want to take over, Walter?
Thank you, Noreen. Yeah, first project is the Duncan Prairie Bridge. You all have heard about this. We've been talking about it for quite a while. This is the replacement of the bridge. We're working with the Texas Department of Transportation. Design is pretty much complete on this. We're anticipating actually going to construction spring of next year. Now, once we actually have a contractor on board, we're going to come back to y'all and have a special public meeting specifically on this project. And at that meeting, we'll have the plans where you can roll it out. We'll talk about the traffic control plan, all the details of that plan. But that is that we're not talking theory now. We're talking that this one is ready to go to construction spring of next year. We anticipate it taking about 18 months to complete. So again, have your eyes and ears open springtime of next year for a public meeting on the Duncan Prairie Bridge. Second project we've been working on is the Shady Grove widening from Beltline to 161. We are about 60% complete with the plans on that one. We're also anticipating this one getting ready to go to construction late next year. So kind of fall, winter of 2026, the construction on that one will be going also. Again, just like Duncan Prairie, before we're actually ready to go to construction, we have a contractor on board. So when we talk details, we'll have a public meeting specifically on that project again, where we can lay it out so you can see exactly what's going to be happening. That's a road widening where we're going to be going from 2 lanes, the current 2 lanes, to a 3-lane roadway, also replacing the bridges in that area. So these projects are getting ready to go. Stay tuned. More information on that will be coming very specifically on that one. Thank you.
The final project that's going on in your district is under construction right now. You probably have seen it, Tarrant Road at Arbor Creek. We are taking care of a culvert that was undersized with the roadway overtopping. I think if you've been out on that way, the sidewalks were kind of unusable for a while. We're replacing it with a bridge. We're going to raise it so it doesn't overtop anymore. We're adding sidewalks on both sides, so there'll be continuous sidewalks throughout the thing. This project takes a year, but we're hoping that we'll have it open by this summer for traffic. And we'll have detours. We have detours for the whole area. This might be where you're running into some of the truck traffic, which I know that they've been working on detouring them around this area. But we're working diligently, and by closing the road, we're able to shorten the construction time and get this bridge opened and the sidewalks open. And if you have any questions about this at the end, I'll be here to answer any of these design and construction comments and questions. And now we have Tanya that's going to go over our overview of our Spry Point conversion.
So we have been live with our new utility customer service system for 4 months now. So hopefully you've seen your new water bill, which looks like this on the screen. So a lot of new interesting information that's available for you. I'll focus kind of on this number 4, the itemized bill breakdown. You can see the charges for our base fees, also for your water consumption and the water consumption at each tier level, which the price goes up based on the more water in which you use. We wanted to bring you some transparency to how it's billed on your monthly bill, so you can make consumption decisions and conserve water and have that information really at your fingertips. Additionally, all the ways in which you can contact us are kind of in this middle section. And then just below that, you have information related specifically to your meter and then your month-by-month usage. So if you have questions specifically about your bill or how to enroll, I'll be available and can share that with you. But just some high-level highlights as well. In those 4 months, we have registered almost 60% of our water customers. So where there may be some challenges, please know that we were able to work through them and get everybody registered. We have 12,000 people who have registered for autopay. And then when you have access to that portal, if you have not yet registered, please know that you have the ability to look at your bills. You can see, again, that consumption on an hourly basis. So you can say, hey, I think you're charging me too much water. You can look and see how much you're using on an hour by hour basis. You can also see your past payments and then just a summary of any of your statements. So things that you may call us for, you can also get at your fingertips when we're not available in there for you. That said, we know everything hasn't been flawless, but we are able to get through those humps, and we've done so with not so much damage. So please know that there are people available to help you, including myself. And if you have questions, I'm happy to do that at the end. We've also outlined the steps of how to register. So when you go to paywaterbill@gptx.org, you're going to just need your account number and your statement, and you'll be able to enter that information and get registered on site while you're there. Or you can call us and we're happy to help you. Or you can again visit me this evening when the meeting is over.
Thank you.
If you're still struggling with your water bill or your auto pay on that, please stay afterward and see Tanya, because I had to do the same thing. I had to give her a call because I had either the wrong number or didn't know how to do it exactly right. So she assisted me, and that was very helpful. So take advantage of that tonight. Now we're to another fun part. We always love talking about economic development and what we're getting new and what we might get new. And we have our also relatively new economic development director, Tony Ramirez. Welcome, Tony.
Thank you, Council Member, and thank you for having me. My name is Tony Ramirez, Director of Economic Development. And yes, I did get a chance to celebrate my first year here with the City of Grand Prairie. So very grateful and excited to be here. I'll quickly just go over a few of these items because there is a lot of activity in our marketplace. As you may or may not know, Portillo's did have a successful launch off of 161. Did have a good conversation with their management team, and that site is doing very, very well. Mama's Kitchen on Pioneer Parkway is also has recently opened. Now BJ's Wholesale. So this, if you haven't seen it before, their concept is very big on the East Coast, and they have a similar membership style structure for purchasing groceries. A lot of healthy food initiatives, but the only difference, and it's somewhat kind of like a Costco or a Sam's Club, but their lot sizes are a lot smaller and healthier. So that's how they're making their difference in the marketplace. They just opened up a sales office in Epic West, so look out for that if you're interested. I think they're running some specials right now to grab your yearly membership if that's something of interest. On about 1.5 acres right down the road from here, a brand new Sonic concept opened up. This is a very newer concept that Sonic has in their layout, which includes a outdoor children's play area. So if you get a chance, you can also see that. And of course, Swig off 161 is open, and it's a beverage concept where you can mix and match different types of soft drinks. It's very, very good. So if you're looking for a treat, that is a great place to consider. There's a list there before you under construction right now. Crunch Fitness is almost opening. If you haven't seen the Topgolf construction going on, they did finish their netting recently, and we did speak to their construction manager. They initially wanted to open before Christmas. The rains did slow them down a little bit, so they are looking at opening in January or February for the first tee off out of that facility. Rosa's Cafe is really pleased to report that that is running on schedule off of 161. I know we get a lot of questions about the cafe and when it's opening, so we're really excited about that. That should be up and running on or before the start of Q2 of next year. Frost Bank and Stop and Go Euros also coming up in Camp Wisdom, so you can see those. And the mayor did mention briefly at the top of the meeting that we are in conversations and we are engaging with grocers. We are working with different industry providers to make sure that they have the data to make a decision to come to Grand Prairie. And it is a very long sales cycle, what the mayor had mentioned. And our boss, Mr. Hills, has also been very supportive on making sure that we have access to the right data and information that these site selectors use when they go around trying to find the best markets to expand to. The biggest challenge in Grand Prairie is real estate, available sites. The type of development that we are poised right now for grocers is what's called infill development. So that's basically finding large tracts of acres in between existing development. So a lot of folks bring up examples of HEB opening up in Prosper and in Anna in the middle of nowhere. So they've got basically a clean slate. So the challenge for us is finding good sites that are existing that can support what their requirements are like. So rest assured, we are working on having conversations, not just with them, but with other grocers and other healthy food providers. But I will be available if you have any other questions after the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Now we get to talk about transportation and mobility services. Carol DeVries. Come on, girl.
I'm leaving before you get to ask questions about the containers.
Right.
But she's right. The industry's going that way. Arlington, everybody around us, because of workers' comp, other issues, they just can't afford to have people hang off the rear end like they do. And so our providers warned us a few years ago.
Thank you.
Coming. But they're the only ones doing it. Just that.
Bye, Mayor.
Usually, I'm 1,500 feet. My house is 1,500 feet from the highway, so I just put it in my truck to bring it to work.
Good evening. Let's talk about this upcoming project. I don't know if any of you have seen, we've been working on putting in a construction of a new right turn lane. This is westbound Avenue K at 360. I want to give you some updates. The right-of-way has been acquired. Right now, we're getting franchise utilities to relocate. There was actually quite a bit going on that corner. And Encore is currently obtaining their TxDOT permit to move theirs, which is between them and the state, of course. And it's anticipated that the utilities are going to be completely clear by the 1st of this coming year. So construction estimate would be about spring, possibly summer, but likely spring. Last about 4 to 6 months. And the most you're going to see during traffic control is a lane drop approaching the intersection while they're doing the work on the shoulder. And now let's talk about one of your favorite ongoing projects, Wildlife Parkway. This is the new roadway from 161 to Beltline that's been going on for a while. This is actually a Dallas County construction project. The city is participating in funding, but Dallas County is leading the construction. The county is reporting a big milestone considered for this early 26 year to come to substantial completion on this project. So that is the milestone we've all been waiting for. There will be smaller projects after that, but that'll be a major milestone. The next notable change you'll probably see will be the lanes reopening along Beltline near the intersection on the east end. Could be as soon as the end of this week, depending on how the concrete breaks come back. We should be getting that back. And of course, this is actually, we're going to call it Wildlife because it's kind of what it's been, but it's actually Entertainment Way. We've already done the name change. Of course, you've noticed if you've been on 161, the Tollway Authority did the overhead signs and all the ground mounted and everything. But I guess Wildlife is Wildlife. We'll be calling it Wildlife until the project's done with the county, and then we'll change it in our heads. I know a lot of you have been missing the Good Link Trail and, of course, the trailhead parking area. So we tried to pin the contractor down on this. It's been closed for safety for a long time. The contractor should be reopening this area before this spring. So we're hoping he can make it happen sooner. It's likely, but I don't want to say it will be for sure, but he is trying. And that'll come along also with that substantial completion, which is in the early of next year. The next part is Wildlife Trail Realignment Project that follows this big project. And that design contract is scheduled for council approval the next few months, and then engineering could begin as early as 26. The citywide bicycle planning document, Bicycle Master Plan, we've spent about 10 months going through all the different processes. They've been at cycling with the mayor. We've been in tandem some with parks with their master plan. We've had separate public meetings, bicycle groups, public meetings to gather information, working with the consultant, which is Gresham Smith, and begin by evaluating the existing conditions of all the city facilities and identify those necessary connections and the missing continuity across the city that we've had. The plan is broken down into manageable projects to identify and plan for the necessary funding and resources needed. It's a very long website at the bottom, but Gresham Smith Planning, that is the name of the consultant. If you want project website for the info about the project as we continue. Also, the draft master plan is currently being shown to council, being rolled out in the next upcoming meetings. So VIA, since VIA's inception here in Grand Prairie, which was April of 2022, we've completed over 479,000 rides, and we have about a little over 37,000 active riders. The base fare is $3, colleges and hospitals is $4, and seniors is $2. And to book a ride, you can either use the VIA Life Support line or that symbol in the bottom corner. That's what the app symbol looks like. Make sure you get VIA Grand Prairie, not somewhere else. And let's talk about some of the additional services. Those $4, the West Irving train station, Tarrant County Community College, and UTA can be a $3 trip currently. And the $4 trips are DBU, Dallas County College, Mountain View, Medical City, Arlington, USMD Hospital, and Methodist Mansfield Medical Center for an additional $1. And I will be in the back if you have any additional questions on transportation.
Thank you, Carol. Have any of you ridden the VIA? Me too. And I know my husband has. I see my husband back there and I forgot to acknowledge him. That's Big Dan, my husband, who is so patient with me. And thank you, Dan, for being here. appreciate you. Now, we get to hear from our planning department, Rashad Jackson. I have to tell you something. Rashad just got married about a month ago. So congratulations, Rashad. And just a little personal note. Whenever I get emails, of course, and it's our last name at gptx.org. So I will get emails every now and then, and it would be from R. Jackson. It would say Ruthie Jackson, but it was really Rashad. But I would always think my mother was sending me a nice little message from heaven. So Rashad, come give us an update.
Good evening, everyone. So, update for planning and development. Yes, thank you. My colleagues have already spoken about Goodland and Lake Song, but I'll touch on those two developments because they're primary developments that we've been working on for the last 3 to 5 years. Since 2020, we did a comprehensive plan update just to make certain that whatever is developed down here was guided by developer input and citizen input. And the developers have actually followed suit and actually have stepped up to the plate to do some nice grand things. Huffines Development as the builder for Lake Song, it's 2,700 master planned community, 2,700 acre master planned community. They're planning on starting construction on the homes in 2026. They're already out there moving dirt, grading and whatnot. Infrastructure, right-of-way, transportation components, we've all been involved in that planning process. Their consultants are working through those details now. And so they're in design status for the roadway construction to make certain that we, project website on the page here, to provide some input. It has some surveys that you can take if you can't attend any of these meetings. I do have a Lego themed video, but I will hold to play that unless I've been told otherwise. Oh, wait. Okay. So again, if y'all have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any at the end of the meeting.
Well, that was very informative, Rashad. And, when you're talking about increasing your population by 30 or 40,000 people, that's a big deal. So, and as he said, you can be involved if you would like to get further information on that. The QR code is available. And I encourage you to, you are very good about being involved, being plugged in, and we appreciate that very much. And your input is so important. We want to hear from you. So that actually concludes our presentations. Let's let Eric tell you about this. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Jorja. I'll try to be brief. I know you all want to get to your questions, but my name is Eric Alvarez with Marketing and Communications. And as Ms. Jorja said, part of that is fun and games, and part of it is the more serious stuff. But first, I wanted to draw your attention to the QR code. If you're comfortable using QR codes, you can use your phone to scan that, and it's going to take you to all of our social media pages. The reason I want to draw your attention to that is, number one, I was so very pleased to see so many hands raised when you asked about the pipeline. The pipeline is a very valuable tool, and we're very proud as a department to be able to put that out there. However, there are certain things that you might not be able to wait 2 or 3 weeks to see that information. So we have this link will take you to our gptx.org website, where if there is an immediate concern, that's the first place you're going to be able to find it. It also takes you to our YouTube, where we are streaming live right now. So our capabilities, our technology have grown leaps and bounds in the last year. You can also find a link to our Instagram account, which is, in my opinion, the most effective tool to reach younger people. I don't know if you guys follow us on Instagram, but you should. We had a reel that has 952,000 views just on social media. So we have award-winning videos on our YouTube page as well. We're up for 4 state awards coming up very soon, and we're even up for a Lone Star Emmy. So it's very enjoyable things. We're up toe-to-toe with WFAAs and NBCs. So we're producing all of this content for you. Now, that's the fun stuff. The more serious stuff is that's the marketing and then the communications. I want to draw your attention to Alert GP, because whenever we have an emergency, like I said, we know you all love the pipeline, but you might not be able to wait until the next edition comes to find out about if we have a situation with our water like we had. This service, you don't even have to go to social media. It will text you whenever there is a weather alert, any sort of emergency. It's an extremely valuable tool, and we encourage you to either scan the QR code now, and I will also be here afterward as well to answer any questions, as well as tell you about some of our more fun initiatives that we have, and we can get you signed up today.
Yes. Thank you, Eric. Eric said we'd made a lot of advancements with our social media, and he's part of that. He's part of the reason, because he came to us and he's just done an excellent job for us. And by the way, if we're not friends on Facebook and you're on Facebook, please send me a request, because I love posting things about the city. And did any of you see this on my Facebook post? A couple. Okay. A few. Yes. A few of you saw it here and there. So in other words, let's use all the ways we can to communicate, since we do not have newspapers anymore, and that's just part of our past. But let's move on with the new technology that we have today. And we get to move to questions and answers. And after such wonderful presentations, I know you have some questions, and we will try to have the answers. And Eric will help us direct you up here to the microphone. He will turn that on, and we would ask that you come to the microphone where our viewers at home or wherever they are, online viewers, let's call them online viewers, will be able to hear as well. And as was mentioned before, we will have lots of questions. So if you could limit your questions and answers to about 2 minutes. And please know that the people who presented will be here afterwards as well. If you have a question that may just be something you need to know, and you don't want everybody in the world to know that problem, you can go to them privately afterwards. Okay, let's get started. If you would like to start us off with the questions and answers. And if you would come to the microphone and state your name, it would be great. Miss Ray, it looks like it's going to be our kick us off here. And anyone who would like to come on down onto the front row and be ready, it'd be great too. I think you're set, Miss Ray.
I'm Patsy Ray. I live at 2217 El Paso Street. My question is for code. I'm concerned about something that I saw on YouTube, which is GPS Neighborhood Network. It was about the cemetery that's located out near the lake. It looks awful and very trashy, and I want to know if code have had any complaints about that area from the residents.
Thank you, Ms. Ray.
Buried out there.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Ray. And I was in conversation with our city manager about that today. And if you would like to come and give her an answer from the code enforcement.
Thanks, Ms. Ray. We saw that video. Our contractor was out there today. We've mowed the right of way. We've cleaned up as much as we can. And we've reached out to the property owner to see if we can get them to clean up their part of it. If they don't take care of it, it takes us about 10 days to get out there and do it for them. We're required by ordinance to give them a notice and give them some time to take care of it themselves before we go out and do it for them. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chad. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Dolores Phillips. We're at the home. We're a part of the town. I am a homeless Grand Prairie, and I want to ask this question. But first, I would like to make this comment. Everyone in this room feels the way they feel because of an experience. And I'm humbled by the experience because this is the second time that this has happened. I used to wonder, and it's important that I say it in this moment in time, I used to wonder why our beautiful LGBTQ brothers and sisters did a lot. I have since apologized to them. It's something different about being targeted for your sexuality. It's so different that to me, by experience, sexualism make racism seem saintly. I just wanted to say that, and I have apologized to more than a few LGBTQ brothers for thinking I had it figured out by having empathy and sympathy for them. But it was not until I walked them shoes that I understand better why they feel the way they feel. Now, Miss, I do know that now that you are over District 1, we had a retaliatory eviction. I'm saying the same links, connections, and networks at the core of this retaliatory eviction, and I'll get further into it November 4th at the city council meeting, because I'm going to respect my brothers and sisters in this room. What I'm asking you to do, because it's about every agency that stood here, police department, code enforcement, it's a lot. I strategically dress the way I dress, not to shame the community, but to say, like my LGBTQ brothers and sisters say when they rock their rainbow, their what is it, queer, the pride flag, that yes, all sexualities matter. So I wanted to say that because it's important. But this retaliatory eviction, it mimics what they did at the 2001 Dallas Area Habitat Home for Humanity. I'm saying that it's the same links, connections, and networks. How did it happen again? Now, when we break this down, because this the second time, so I'm going to publicly lay it out that it's a racket that happened at the core of this eviction. But at the core of it, Ms. Clemson, at the core of it was to obstruct justice. They stole court documents from 3 different cases, present cases. And then to do that, it was strategic and it required some big kahunas to make that phone call because we owe no rent monies. Matter of fact, it's one payment that's not even on the ledger that needs to be said. See, for poor people, they'll get evicted out of fear, won't say anything, right? But beautiful brothers and sisters with money, they got the money to pay attorneys to figure it out what happened, right? So in this, because we're at the hall and we're the town, even though I'm a homeless Grand Prairie. I know if you don't like that, that's why it's another retaliatory eviction like the Dallas Area Habitat Home for Humanity. Now, I'm asking you, when you get time, because I humbly respect you, I admire you, matter of fact, can you please give New Rock Meadow Green Apartments a call and ask them why did they do it to us? Because we owed zero monies, it was no lease violations. If somebody made the call, they took court documents from 3 different cases. At the core of this, please understand, is my mom's and my dad's estates before they even had estates. And they do these things to poor people. So at the core of this, I want to say this for public record. Dallas County Family Court Case DF-92-11850. They went in that house to obstruct justice and put us out as though we owed rent and we owe no monies. Now, it's more than a few parties, and I won't call their names now, so I'm asking them to come so we can amicably resolve this, because poor people are people too. God did not create any expendables on this earth, be they poor or wealthy. We're all human beings, and I humbly thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have other questions.
My name is Richard Aguinaldo, and I go to Prairie to go to church, and I get off on 30 to go to MacArthur. And when they hit MacArthur to make a left turn to go north, the area there, striping to shade which way the cars go to keep them separate, it's almost totally non-existent. Most of it's all common, and on and off ramp there, it needs repainting on the road, and it goes all the way up to the landfill. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And who would like to speak with him about that? Did everybody understand? Who are you directing him to? Somebody tell me. Carol. Thank you, Carol. And actually, my husband has spoken to me about that intersection there at I-30 and MacArthur multiple times as well. And if you'd like to talk to Carol about that, you may afterwards too, Dan. Okay. Other questions? Yes, ma'am. There you go.
The registration process at the summit, is this the right forum to discuss this?
Hold it to your mouth.
Completely out of control. I spent 10 minutes on hold. I was disconnected. I called 48 times until 8:45 before somebody was able to answer. I understand that people who go in person to register, if you arrive at 7, you're already too late to get into your class. Then they have to wait until 8 before registration begins. The classes are, I don't know if we can't have more classes. Our classroom, I'm speaking specifically about yoga. Our classroom is very, very small. There are bigger ballrooms, but for some reason we can't use those rooms. And in 2025, I'm not sure why we don't have online registration. Is that your area? No.
Actually, Kelly Edelman is here, and he is our Parks and Rec, and the summit is under their jurisdiction, so we'll let Kelly address that. And I'm sorry that has happened. That doesn't sound.
It happens every month. It's
Yes.
not unusual, and I've been going for 5 years.
Thank you.
So
Well-
it's not a new thing.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you've had those issues. I wish I could answer your question for you specifically tonight. If I can get your information from you, I will follow up tomorrow. We'll be in contact with some more information on why you're having those issues. You bet. Let me get your information afterwards.
Another question? Yes, ma'am. And Kelly, I need it. Kelly.
Jorja, we addressed the Duncan Perry situation, which I live over in that area, so I'm real concerned about that. But we didn't say anything about that one section of Egyptian that runs from 161 down to Duncan Perry. Part of it was kind of patched, but there's really one bad section there that's really rutted. And I know that it's probably going to be a problem because they really can't widen it. So I'm just wondering what's in plans for that. Does anyone know?
Whose department is that? Transportation. And would that be Walter, or who's going to address it? Carol? Carol, you're getting all these great questions.
You know what section I'm talking about?
Come up to the microphone, sweetie.
Yeah, we can definitely, and I need to get your information as well, but we can definitely look at that and see what the options are if we need to do any additional patching or possibly more in-depth repairs. I know that section's asphalt, so let me see what's involved, but let me get your information too before you go.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Jorja, my name is Bob Hurley. Thank you for doing this.
Of course.
I've been coming to some city council meetings off and on since high school. And every time I realize how complex it is to do what y'all do. You make it look easy. So thank you. I do have a question for the police department and fire and even to Rashad.
Okay.
When you talk about expanding the police department and fire department as far as workers, are you having problem staffing? Or are people wanting to come to Grand Prairie and work in your departments?
Great question. And here come the chiefs to tell you about that.
And then Rashad, in the new developments that's coming up and, Venus and South and Goodland and all that, are they going to be, I think it's called mud districts, where, or is Grand Prairie building the infrastructure prior to people moving in, or, those questions? Thank you.
Deal. No, very, very good question. Let me speak to the police department a little bit. Nationwide, you hear a lot about police shortages, having a hard time hiring. We actually just had a test. We graduated some new officers this past week. We have a new academy that's going to be starting in about a week and a half. And then we have another test coming up in January. Are we a little bit understaffed from a perfect world? Yes, we are. However, that's not because we're not getting applicants. It's because we are extremely picky about who gets to wear a Grand Prairie badge and who gets to serve y'all as a community. So, for instance, the last test we had about between 200 and 300 people sign up. Out of that class, we were able to hire, it looks like about 9 or 10. That doesn't mean that they're not great individuals. It means that our standards are, we probably have the highest standards in North Texas, if not the entire state, as far as who gets to wear the Grand Prairie uniform. We put those people through the Grand Prairie Police Academy to make sure that they are best equipped to be able to serve y'all. So do we have a shortage in numbers? Yes. Do we have a shortage that impacts our service to you, our community members? No, we do not. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
And on that question for the fire department, we hire a paramedic only. So that limits our pool drastically. If you can imagine, if we were just to hire high school education, we'd have thousands come apply. We'd have to send them to EMT school, send them to paramedic school, send them to fire school, and they're gone 3 years before we can use them. So we hire paramedic only. I will say that about the last 50 firefighters we've hired, I can list Dallas, Arlington, Plano, Midlothian, Cedar Hill, Lancaster, DeSoto, Burleson. I can almost list any city in the Metroplex. They have come here. We have a very competitive pay scale. We have a great city that I mentioned earlier. We offer so many different things that we respond to. And so getting 21 this next round certainly will be a challenge. But unfortunately, I hate to use the word rob or steal. We basically just steal from the smaller departments, and the chiefs hate me for it. But literally, that's the way it is. Great question.
They want to come to Grand Prairie.
To address the municipal utility district question, so both of these developments, Lake Song and Goodland, which was Prairie Ridge, were once development agreements. So they were fresh water supply districts that had development agreements, and those fresh water supply districts are approved through the state and Texas water quality process board. So the developers, as a mechanism in order to pave down some of the infrastructure, they've created these municipal management districts for Lake Song and Goodland. There's certain portions of Goodland that will still stay under the freshwater supply district because of the debt that's already incurred in those districts. They will be paid down before they add it into whether it's the city or the municipal management district. We won't annex it until the debt's paid down. So the municipal management districts are only used as a tool to pay down the infrastructure that's going to be needed for the area. That's kind of helping the city in order to provide the infrastructure that's needed and helping the developer as well.
The reason I ask is, when you talk to people in Melissa and out in that area, all of a sudden property taxes are negatively impacted because of
Yes.
That district, and it's going into, really a disadvantage.
Yes.
So I hate to see that become, a scar on the Grand Prairie.
That is not the plan for the municipal management districts, and our legal team has been a major component of drafting the agreements for the annexations. So a lot of all those details have been addressed to make certain that we come out ahead on that type of situation.
Thank you, Rashad. Any other questions? Have two more questions. Ruben?
My name is Ruben Bronson, and longtime member of City of Grand Prairie. I didn't grow up in Grand Prairie, but I grew up at South Station number 8 in City Grove. Went to City Grove School and all that. And the city took us in, but I came to Grand Prairie High School and all that. And I want to say one thing about my brother, Jeff. He graduated from Grand Prairie High School like in 55. He was valedictorian of Grand Prairie High School. But one thing I want to say, he passed away not too long ago. And what I want to ask is the Parks Department, they tear down Calvary Baptist Church someday, but there's a building that the Senate could use for gym and all that, where people can walk around and have coffee up there, without driving way down to where the Senate is. They could use that building, all the deal, the blue building, and all that, if they could do that.
Thank you, Ruben.
And one other
All right.
is, I work for the City of Grand Prairie at the landfill.
Yes, sir.
And Patricia's a nice woman, good woman, and she knows what she's doing at the Grand Prairie landfill. And Grand Prairie is a good place to dump trash at, too.
It is a great place. Thank you, Ruben, and God bless you. And I'm so sorry for the loss of your brother. And thank you for being a good, longtime employee of the city of Grand Prairie. Yes, sir.
Richard Austin. I live on the corner of Post Oak and Oakview. We have a three-way stop right there. 75% of the cars fly through those stop signs every day because we sit out there and watch. Would it make it be possible to get those stop signs I've seen with the flashing red lights?
Oh, I think that sounds like a great idea. Carol, would you like to get that information?
As far as getting space,
We've gotten several of those around Grand Prairie in District 1. So I bet Carol would be able to get with you on that. Is that something he could get with you afterwards, or do you need to give him information?
Yeah, I can get with you afterwards. Let's see if that's an option.
Okay.
Thank you. We want to keep everybody safe. That's a great point. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name's Tommy Crowley. I live across from the creek, so it's a corner of Duncan Perry and Frank School. In April of 2024, I approached the City of Grand Prairie Parks Department. Across from the elementary school, there used to be a golf course, and there was a lot of business that went in when the warehousing went in.
Yes.
As we watched that park develop, the playground was there at the one end, and it got moved down to the other end because I just don't think some of the residents there really want to see it. So in working with the City of Grand Prairie, I asked them to come up with solutions, and I waited 60 days, and on the 59th day, they called me back, and we had a meeting across the street at their office. We talked about solutions that you can't park at the school because it's an Arlington ISD. I have a niece that's handicapped, so we have no handicap accessibility to the park. I think your director of the Parks Department, when I was in the meeting, is also in a wheelchair.
Yes.
So when I stated all this, he couldn't even go view our own park in our town because we have no handicap accessibility. We have no parking accessibility. So I kind of felt frustrated that they got back with me about December 2024. I would have liked to address this council earlier, but like a lot of people in this room, you have health issues that come up that keep you from getting out.
Sure.
So my delay is a year and a half to visit with you. I was at the park today just to check because I knew we had town hall tonight. It appears there's posts coming up there on the Brown Avenue across from the school. I don't know if it's gonna be fenced off or a gate. And further back down, there, it looks like there might be some construction, but the playground is at the far end. There's no place for the kids to go unless you feel like they need to walk a mile to go down there. The old spillway from the golf course is washed out. When I do walk or ride the bike, there's transients that go back and forth. So it's kind of hard to see employees. So I wanted to use tonight as a public forum that I tried to go through the right steps for the city parks department, and they listened, but we have no action. So now we're a year and a half later, and I just wanted to use this as an opportunity to work with you as my council member.
Yes.
And the rest of the Grand Prairie Parks Department. Thank you.
Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. You know, that the good news, now I can tell you, there have been many, many challenges with that property, many. And right now, we're building a parking lot. And it will be down on the west end. Kelly, do you have any information on the parking lot that's in process of being built down there? And actually, it's not an ideal place for a parking lot, but it was the only place. And we searched far and wide to make this as accessible as we could with parking. But they are in the process of building the parking lot as we speak, I believe, and I don't know exactly where they are on it, but we can get you an update. And I agree, it hasn't been ideal. And it has taken longer than we would like. And actually, Megan Mahan is working with that on that through the park. She's in the city manager's office. She's our assistant city manager. And she's been working with that, with our staff, to make that the best we can do with the resources that we have at that location. And once that parking lot is in there and we get everything more organized in there, I think you'll be proud of the nature park. It's going to be called Great Southwest Nature Park. And we will have a grand opening eventually. And I keep asking when that's going to be. But Kelly, do you have any other information?
I don't, I'm not directly involved in that, but I have heard some conversation. So if I get your information, I'll ask for the latest updates and get those to you. Okay.
And when you give him the latest, they give him the latest updates, I'd like to be copied on that. And anytime you email, if you will email, the best way to contact me or to communicate with me is email. And guess why? Because I can ask you to copy me and I can go back and say, follow up on all these things. Like, where are we on this project? And here's the information, and follow up that way. So if you would, if you do any kind of communication with the Parks Department in the future, please just copy jclemson@gptx.org and I'll help you follow up. Thank you. Bill has something as well. It's been a challenge.
While you were speaking, I had occasion to talk with Megan on the phone and to get you a fresh update. They are indeed working on the parking lot that will have handicap access to the park. And it should be completed by the end of the year. So we are hard at work at it, trying to get it done.
That's good news. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Bill. And as you know, that's our city manager, Bill Hills. Thank you, Bill. Do we have any other questions? I know some of you are going to stick around and you have some things to talk to people about. Now, I did tell you that we had 3 of our boards and commission members here, and I didn't mention their names, but John Fedorko, would you wave again? He works on our planning and zoning department, which is a very hard job. They have to do a lot of homework and make some hard decisions. Also, we have Miss Patsy Ray up here on the front row. She's on our park, on our libraries. No, now you're on the aging. Housing. Okay. She's hopped around. She has been on the library board because I know I appointed her one year. But she is now in a new spot and serving well. And we have Mal Parkhill Earl. Mal, would you wave to everyone? Mal has served on our Parks Board and served previously as the chairman of that board. So thank you all for your service. And we have other volunteers. If you volunteer in any way, oh, I see one of our citizens on patrol back there, Jean Mullenberg and Pam. Thank you. They're back on the back row. Where are some of, if you volunteer at all with the city of Grand Prairie within the city, thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate you so much, Andrea. And our volunteers, we couldn't, if we, I've had them put the dollar amount on the value that they are. Of course, we can't, there's some intrinsic value, but there is a dollar value on the time that we have a historical organization represented here tonight very well. And you might want to go to the Grand Prairie Museum, Historical Museum. Have any of you been there? Raise your hand if you've been there. Oh, good. Then the rest of you need to make an appointment with the historical. Where is it, Bonnie? 1516 West Main Street. And your hours are 1 to 4, Monday through Saturday. And they have some of the neatest photographs and memorabilia up there that you would enjoy. Yes, ma'am. And you bring your children. Yes, get them involved as well. Now, is there anything else we need to cover before we say good night? You all, yes, ma'am. Book sale at the library, the 23rd through the 25th. Any other questions or comments before we bid you adieu for the evening? Thank you all for being here. You all are fabulous. Love my neighbors. Y'all keep being involved, keep being engaged, and God bless you all, and good night. Thank you.